Okay, we're going to talk about the world of idiocracy. Dr. Robert Cassar, eartheracademy.com. This is going to be another rethinking reality. Okay, so the world of idiocracy. What does that even mean? What does idiocracy mean? Do you know? Well, if you go ahead and give a quick search, you'll go ahead and find out that the definition, or at least some of them, most of them, are going to tell you that idiocracy means a society governed by idiots. A society, okay, governed by idiots. All right, so if you have a society governed by idiots, that would mean, of course, depending on what side of the fence you're on, it would mean that the people that may be on the side of the fence that are governing the idiots are really thinking that the people are idiots, right? The world of idiocracy. Because idiocracy goes deep, remember? In gematria, idiot equals 33, okay? Kawinky dinky. Idiocracy, that also is very suspicious, okay, in the number that it comes up to, okay? It comes up to 311, 3 times 11, 33. Anyway, we can get deep into all those, but the world of idiocracy, okay, let's just think, 311, okay, I just told you that, idiocracy. And idiocracy, in gematria, again, is 311, so let's see what other things are 311. And you can go ahead and Google this for yourself. Just put March 11th, catastrophes, right? Put March 11th, just famous days. March 11th, days off. Just something like that. Just go ahead and look it up. Remember, we're here to be able to do research, okay? Because we're searching for the truth, just like in the X-Files. So, anyways, I mean, there's so many different tangents to get on here, but the 311, okay, let's just go into that just because I've opened up this can of worms here. Okay, the 311, 3 times 11, again, is 33. 1/3 of the angels, remember, in the Bible were kicked out of heaven or left heaven. So 1/3, the 33, 33.333. And the 311 is a very suspicious date, Fukushima. When did that disaster happen? March 11th, 311. When did they go ahead and put up the Georgia Guidestones? Okay, another auspicious date. Okay, March 11th, okay, 311. When did, well, there's some famous days on that day too. There's a famous Muslim day, okay? Look it up yourself and go ahead and actually just, remember, do your own research. It's just sort of a connecting the dots, kawinky dinky. When was the cornholio, when was it a worldwide pandemic? When was it deemed to be a worldwide pandemic? March 11th, right? 311. Kawinky dinky. Anyways, if you haven't seen the 5 episodes that I did on BitChute, just talking about gematria, the kawinky dinkies, for educational, well, for actually entertainment purposes only. And if a world, okay, is of idiocracy, that means, again, the translation would be the world of idiots. Or the world of the sleeping people, right? There are different levels of people here. And ones that have critical thinking, they are built different than ones that don't have critical thinking. And critical thinking, here comes my daughter. All right, we'll try doing this a little later since my daughters are. Here we go. We'll continue this. All right. Okay, we're back. We're in the house right now, and of course, you can call this a house, but this is really a present-day castle, and hard for you to see from this angle, but everything is made out of solid stone. And, you know, critical thinking, okay, in the world of idiocracy is something to be able to learn maybe a little bit why there are, remember, what does idiocracy mean again? It means a society, or maybe even a world, controlled, governed, okay, by idiots, idiotas, all right? So if that's so, now that means that the world is in a negative state if it's controlled by a lot of idiocracy. It's because common sense, right, should be able to run this world. Now, that goes deep. There's different parts of the brain that are activated. I'm sitting in front of the piano right now for a reason. So, you know, we've done lots of videos on balancing the brain hemispheres, because if you want to have critical thinking, remember there's many different parts of the brain. There's the critical thinking part of the brain, okay? There's the cunning part of the brain, cunning, okay? If you're cunning, guess what? You can make a lot of money, okay? It doesn't mean you're evil, it just means that you're not even smarter than the others, but you see into it deeper than the others, okay? Remember, it's not what you look at that matters, it's what you can see that matters. So, you know, you have two different hemispheres of the brain, okay? Have you trained your right hand, which uses your left brain? Because this is the reason being why a lot of people in this world are idiots, is because we have not trained our minds. We have not activated our minds. And that's not good. Okay, if you don't activate your mind, then basically the system is going to trick you. Okay, why? You're going to have to either follow the rest of the idiots, right? The rest of those that do not have critical thinking, because they're just doing what everybody else does. Consensus thinking. Not critical thinking, okay? Not cunning thinking, and not even smart thinking. Smart may just mean that you can go ahead and mimic things and go to school, right? And you can pass their theories. Remember gravity theory, right? It's a theory. You know, and I can get into that deep, but it's theories that were being taught. Big Bang theory, the theory of relativity, the theory of string theory, okay? The Big Bang theory, like I said, okay? Darwinian theory, evolution theory, how the heart works theory, how the fingernails grow, how a blade of grass grows. These are all theories, and if you're smart, you can memorize those facts, and you can take a test, and you can maybe even get a PhD, a piled higher and deeper mind in theory. Okay? It's theory. So if it's theory, then what do you really know? What do you believe is true? These are just questions to ask. Remember, this is a rethinking reality. It takes me a little while to get going here. Okay, but okay, what I wanted to show you, okay, is real simple. You know, there's many different parts of the brain. Balancing the hemispheres of the brain means that you are going to use your right hand, because this makes a big deal. If you're an idiot, well, let's see maybe why you don't even think you are, but let's just maybe check off a few things to see if you, well, fall into that category, okay? And there's no judgment here. It's just, remember, it's you, your mind. Have you developed it? Have you developed your mind? Have you developed your body? Have you taken care of your body? Have you expanded, okay, the different areas of the brain? Remember, you have two hemispheres. The right side uses the left brain. The left side uses the right brain. Can you play a musical instrument? Can you play a musical instrument just because you could read the notes? Or can you play a musical instrument because you have memorized the keys? I can't read a note, okay, on playing the piano, but I can play the piano. I can play a lot of different songs, okay? And I just play by ear. So I'm using different parts of my brain, I'm activating them, and you activate these parts of your brain when you are a child. You can try to activate them when you're older, but it's not easy. Okay, remember, the neural nets in your brain need to be activated as you're growing. As you grow, your brain, the twig will grow into a tree. Okay, and if you don't guide those limbs of the tree, it's just going to grow wild, if it grows at all. Okay, versus if I fertilize it, if I take care of it, and I do all the things that I know that's going to make that tree grow well. So if I want to balance my brains, because you want to go ahead and stop being maybe the idiot that maybe you will find out that you are. Remember, if you believe, does that mean you're an idiot? Well, possibly. Okay, do you believe? B-E-L-I-E. Remember, do you believe that fiber is good for you or bad for you? And you're going to have either consensus thinking, right? Or you're going to have to dig deep like I did. Watch our videos on when I changed my diet. Okay, and I went through a transformation because I got malnourished and got sick because I was on a plant-based diet, and I was poisoning myself with a lot of different plant poisons. Okay, but getting into that, that's a whole different section. But okay, you must have critical thinking. You must become your own doctor, and if you're not, then you're going to have to go to someone that basically has a lot of theory in their head. Okay, maybe the reason you get sick is because you, of course, are not as smart as you think you are, right? Putting phones up to your head, microwave transmitters. Are you being smart doing that? Okay, just because it's a smart device? Carrying it right here next to your heart, which makes electricity, and of course that phone makes electricity, okay, or energy, microwave. Anyways, balancing your brain hemispheres is only one piece of being able to go ahead and actually grow out of being an idiot. Okay? Idiocracy means that if there's a society controlled by idiots, that means that the people that follow the idiotic things are also idiots too. Remember? Dumb is as dumb does, or Dumb and Dumber. Okay? It's sort of the way it is. So the way I like to balance my brains, because balancing your brains just means that I can get along with the day, and I have my positive part of my brain and my negative part of my brain. Okay? The positive charge and the negative charge. The right hemisphere and the left hemisphere. And if you haven't gone to school to learn general anatomy, you have two hemispheres of the brain. Remember, you have the parietal, the temporal, the occipital, the frontal lobes. Okay? These different lobes. These different areas of your brain are your supercomputer. And if you do not develop them, then basically you don't even know you're an idiot. Okay? How about that? Like I said, I'm not making fun of anybody. I'm just showing you some different things. Okay? And you can blame a lot of this on your parents. You can blame on whatever you want to blame it on, whatever. But if you don't activate your brain, okay, then you are destined, yourself, your children, will be destined to go ahead and be activated as the parents activate them or deactivate them. And that goes, you know, like I said, common sense, okay, means that maybe you haven't been poisoned. Okay? And you're doing a detox type of lifestyle. And if you don't understand and know what those are, look up eartheracademy.com. Okay? Forget the money, $10 a month, big deal. That's just to keep the machine going, because it does take a lot to go ahead and put the machine. And nobody pays me, let me tell you. Okay? These are just information that I found out that you may want to take a look at. My perspective of 40 plus years of being in the medical physiology, okay, biology, and learning about a lot of alternative therapies that, of course, have helped me and hundreds of, well, let's just say tens of thousands of people, okay, just when I was in practice for 15 years. Okay, so balancing the brains is super important, because why? Is because you're going to go ahead and train your brain not to be half a brain activated retard, right? This is what people are, a lot of them. They don't even know it. They write with their right. Okay, they kick a ball with their right leg. They only use their left brain. Their right brain is sleeping. Okay, this is what happens with most people. If you're left-handed, then of course your right brain works, and you kick a ball most likely with your left hand. And we go deep into this into a video called Balancing the Brain Hemispheres, showing people how to find out the gunner eye. Okay, the eye that actually is the gunner eye is called the forward eye. And the other eye, the lazy eye, is the one that follows it. But there's one eye that is primary. The other eye is secondary. Do you know which one that is? This is very important for you. Okay? So I'm what's called a cross-brain symbiont. So I was born to be able to go ahead and actually use both my hands. Right? And you can just do these simple chords and play the piano. This is a beautiful piano right here. This thing's a huge grand piano, a real grand piano. It's Steinway and Sons. And if you're into pianos, you know what these things cost to be able to have a resonance. And then I'm in this like 30-foot tall ceiling, all made out of rock and brick, like 2-foot thick walls. Okay, so it's beautiful. So balancing the hemispheres, okay, is very important, because if you don't have your hemispheres balanced, then basically you're imbalanced. Okay, just so you know. You must use both your hands. And if you could go ahead and do maybe you can't play music, but maybe you can do the keyboard. Close your eyes and see if you could go ahead and use the keyboard. You've memorized with your left and right all the positions of the keyboard. You don't need to see the letters, you feel them. Right? This is your third eye activated. If you can read music, that's one thing, but can you play by ear? This is to un-idiot your children. Okay, idiocize your child, yourself, or anything else, is to learn how to use both hands. I don't care if it's using a backhoe. Okay, you're using 7 different types of knobs, and it's supposed to be smooth. You're training your left and right brain to be critical with each other. Okay, the positive pole is being moved, the negative pole is being moved, and I have 2 different parts of my batteries in action instead of just half a brain. So, you know, there's different chords on here, and you can play anything you want to, but try to use both your hands at the same time. Remember, critical thinking has to do a lot with, are your brain hemispheres activated? Forget about if they're balanced. Are they activated? Did you ever activate them in your life? Or is your left hand, if your right hand, stupid as, you know, as George Carlin would say, a second coat of paint? It's as dumb as a second coat of paint. Can you do anything with this hand? Can you make it so this hand and this hand? That's why music's important. Okay, it's not just the keyboard. That's just simple stuff. But playing music and harmonies and balancing your brain. I close my eyes and do this to be able to not only be able to hear the music in my mind and play it immediately, but to be able to feel, okay, my hands on the keyboard. Okay, so anyways, so this is just a quick thing. I'm just going to show you, okay, how to balance your brain. Balancing your brain. Just doing that just for 1 minute a day. Okay, so that's enough of that. Okay, watch the other videos on how I balance my brain. Spinning a ball on my finger, right? Okay, this is going to make you so your part of your brain is going to be activated. And remember, this is rethinking reality. Okay, have you activated these parts of your brain? Yeah, we can talk about the idiocracy in this world. I don't have to say a word. And if you can see it, that means that maybe you're not as much of a part of it as those that believe it and or just think that it's what it is. Remember, critical thinking, okay, is another part of the brain, and you must have both brains activated. Critical thinking, okay, means that in order for you to even have it, you got to use both your hands left and right to be able to have both brains activated. See? Are you starting to get this? And most of you, you'll notice that the side that you're dominant with, side that you write with, this other side over here is as dumb as a stump. And music, remember, the keyboard at least trains your mind to be able to work together, but it's just 2-dimensional. This is 3-dimensional. I have a foot pedal on the ground here that I'm pressing as I'm playing this. And that makes the notes go ahead and either stick together like this. But if I press the pedal, if I let the pedal go, it stops it. So I'm playing another part of my brain, okay? The piano is a good way to teach your children how to not get smart, okay? It's how to become balanced. 2 brains are better than 1, and most people, that's why you need a mate, is because you're trying to find your other half of the brain that's not activated in you. So you find another person like you, okay, that has only a half a brain activated. Instead of you, okay, yourself, activating, because this is like a mystery school, activating both parts of your brain. Activating both parts of your brain would make you feel full, would make you feel fulfilled, would make you feel like you're not looking for something all the time. And critical thinking, remember, okay? Let's walk around a little bit. Critical thinking has a lot to do with, here, let me show you this place, has a lot to do with, okay, your biological health. Because if you're poisoned, okay, that means that you are sick. You can see this place. This is a current day castle. It's one of the houses the family has here. Use it for movies and stuff. I mean, and this place took like 8 years to build. Ridiculous. All the stone in here and just no paint, not a drop of paint. It's all real plaster walls. And look at this place. This is the current day castle. Okay. It's got the chess room up there, the billiards room, outside, the bar, and this place is, you know, is a huge place. Now, when I come over here, this is where I get a chance to stay, and I stay here by myself, but you can see in here, now that's a real theater. That's a real theater. So, yeah. Anyways, there's the bat cave down there. Maybe we'll go down there too. Got a whole bunch of very unique cars down there. These are beautiful. Look at these crystals here. I gave these to my dad like 12 years ago or so. I got these from Brazil. These are huge. Those are like 150 pounds a piece. Anyways, critical thinking. Okay, again, how do you know if you're an idiot? Well, okay, and again, I'm not calling you an idiot. It's just, how do you know if you're one? Well, do you have special virtues? Okay, right? Can you even change a tire? I'm talking to the young people now. Can you change a tire on your bicycle? Can you? It's just a question. And I know a lot of young people today. Your not only balanced hemispheres are not balanced, they're not activated. Okay, I see a lot of the parents, again, the only reason why your child is not activated, okay, is usually because maybe you didn't activate them. And sports is one thing, okay, that activates people. You have sociality of all different parts of the brain. And you are born with a lot of things, okay, that are either activated or not, just depending on your physiology and your biology. And, of course, as they say, your bloodlines. Okay, so, anyways, critical thinking is something that makes all of us either live a good life, because if you can critically think, that means that you'll make better decisions. You'll have both of your brains activated. Okay, if you've got a lot of heavy metals in your body and you really are malnourishing yourself with maybe the vegan diet or fruitarian diet, those are good cleanses. That's it. Okay, let's see if we can find the bat cave here. How do we get down there? I think we go this way. So, anyways, yeah, you can see who eats at that table? Nobody. That's a wine cellar in there. Got a ton of all wine set up and bottles all over the place there. But yeah, no, this is, like I said, this is the present day castle. Look at that view over the lake with the pool. So, you know what a cunning mind gets you? It gets you a better life. Okay, smart people, just so you know, check out this thing. Smart people usually work for cunning people. Yeah, got this. This is the turret of the castle here. And it's a spiral staircase, as you can see. That goes all the way down there, and it spirals all the way up to the top, and check out the dome up there. And all the rocks. There was a group of like 25 guys that came from Italy. They did all the rocks here. And so when you have a cunning mind, that means that you most likely are going to work for yourself. And that's the reptilian mind, okay? It's a mind that is very advanced compared to what we call the mammalian mind. And the mammalian mind, nothing wrong with it. It's a herd mind. It's a consensus. Now we're in the bat cave. Let's see if we can turn on the lights here. You know how you turn on the lights. Maybe from up here. Yeah, let's try this right here. Okay, that's that. Oh, there we go. Now we got some lights. Let's see, lights. Mirage. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know how to use this thing. Anyways. We got some light. But this place in here, look at these cars. My brother built this whole thing. Yeah, we need more lights in here. Yeah, but you can see that thing. What a beauty. It's you can look it up on the internet. It's called the ZR59, and he built this thing from top to bottom. They bought the old chassis and everything, but it's one of a kind. Man, I'm not sure what this one's called, but they just got this one the other day. It's a Ford GT. But you can see what a beauty. Wow. The cunning mind, okay, will get you what you want and a lot more in this world. Okay, these are Ford GTs right here. These are all specialty, like 50 miles on them. Some have 0 miles on them. Brother built this one here too, from scratch. Chevrolet. Anyway, look at this little guy. Look at that's Tom Petty's track car. Look at this thing. Whoa, baby, yo. Some type of Mustang. Nice Bronco. And a Hummer. This is what the cunning mind gives you, okay? Doesn't mean it's a bad mind. It just means that it's very, not smart, but it sees what a lot of people need, and it gives it to them. And so it gets rewarded in many ways, right? Because it's cunning, it sees. It's not what you look at, it's what you see. So, anyways, train your brain. Okay? If you don't train your brain, then you know what happens to you? You lose your common sense. You maybe think you have critical thinking, but you don't. Okay? You don't. Too bad I couldn't turn the lights on better. You don't. You only know what you know, and that may not be too much, right? Let's see. There we go. It may not be too much. So, you know, people that go along to get along, they're not bad people, but a lot of them don't have critical thinking. Okay? Would you do things that you know you shouldn't do, or why do you do the things that you do you know you should not do, is the question, right? It's the big question. So, anyways. Here's the guy that built this place. Here, check him out with the tiger. Okay, so that's enough. Anyways, the world of idiocracy is real. And it's only because most of us, okay, are not really activated humans. We're not. And each generation I see is getting dumber and dumber. It's not getting smarter, it's getting dumber. And that's not everybody, but it's a lot of the people that I see. And you wonder why the controllers here want to do a great reset, right? Not a mini reset, but a great reset, or what I would call the great extraction, right? And there's a lot of things that you can learn from, Good video for you to watch is called The Lost History of Earth. It's like a 5-hour documentary. I'll put some links in the show notes. Okay, The Lost History of Earth. And you get a chance to be able to see, well, a lot of things. You got to see it for yourself. As it says on the video, mind-blowing. You have to see it for yourself, especially if you're a scholar. Remember, that means you took in all the information that you were told. You were graded by how good you could remember the theories and or his story, right? No matter what you did going to school, maybe it didn't make you as smart as you think you are, but you were smart enough to be able to memorize all the things, take a grade, take the testing, okay, graduate with honors because you have a good memory. Okay, remember, PhD, piled higher and deeper. Can I help you? Not really. Okay, I like to help the people that still have some memory chip that's a little bit empty, right? Because you know that you're lacking instead of thinking that you know a lot of things. And you do. You know a lot of things that are theory. And that goes for most of the people that have degrees. Degrees with a big D, right? It's like the dunce cap. You get a big D. A big degree. A degree of what? Is that why you wear a black cube on your head when you graduate? Does that mean your mind's now into that prison of idiocracy, right? It's a mind prison, right? You graduate, it's got a square little cube, right, up top with a little tassel, and you switch it over when you graduate high school because you had to be high to graduate. Remember, evolution theory, you came from a monkey. The fish crawled out of the ocean, right, and got legs. And then they got feathers, and they flew away. Really. And you came from, like I said, from Lucy, like Lucifer, right? Lucy. Yeah. The so-called pre-evolutionary status of so-called man. I don't know about woman. Woo, man. Anyways, we'll get into other videos about the trickery, okay, to people that really don't have critical thinking. Not only critical thinking, common sense, 2 brains activated, not just one. Okay, and if you only have one side of your brain activated, that means you have 2 hemispheres. You only have half of it activated, right? Is there a reason why there's fluoride in your toothpaste, sodium fluoride, right, in your water supply, in your new car smell? Is there a reason why a lot of people have calcified pineal glands? Okay. Is there a reason why the largest statue in the front of the Vatican is a pineal gland, a pine cone, right? The interdimensional gateway to these 2 hemispheres. And if this gets corrupted and gets calcified, then it doesn't work. You don't dream. You don't create what's called dimethyltryptamines, which makes your mind very recursive, okay? Constantly. Watching television, okay, being programmed, okay, by the artificial interface, and you seeing what the system wants you to see, and wants you to feel the reaction of what you see. Okay, so critical thinking. Not too many people have it anymore. We don't. Remember, when I go back to Hawaii, I'm going to pat the driver, the flyer of the plane, right? The pilot. I'm going to pat him on the back, and I'm going to say, hey, man, you just landed the plane sideways. And I'm going to get off in Hawaii, and I'm going to drive sideways home, and I'm going to go lay sideways in my bed. And I may just go to Australia just because I want to go to the land down under, and I want to walk upside down. And I want to really congratulate the guy that's flying that plane because he lands the thing upside down. Anyways, we got lots of stories in this world. And that's what happens when you have an amnesic world. Okay, did you know anything when you came here? Do you remember anything at all? Anything innately? No, you don't. Did you know anything at all? What if we didn't teach you anything and put you in school to learn how to speak, to learn how to eat, to learn how to even wipe your arse in the right direction, of course? Okay. Do you have any intact programs like the real creatures, the intelligently designed creatures, the ones that don't go to school, the ones that don't believe in Buddha and religion and Democrat, Republican? It doesn't believe in a lot of things. And it's also, remember, it doesn't go to school for a reason. It's because it doesn't have to. It knows what to eat, the birds, the bees, the whales, the snails, all things of nature, everything that is created intelligently on this place, okay, does not need to be told what to do, how to act. Okay, there's natural law and the law of man. And you can see when you're born with a clean slate up here, clean, I mean clean. That means you have nothing in it, no software programs. You have a hard drive computer. Your hard drive computer is good, okay? But do you have any software programs? Do you? Do you have any software programs? That's the question, okay? And that's why you go through kindergarten, first grade, second grade, 13 years of installations of programs into your mind. And if you do not go ahead and activate parts of your brain, good luck on trying to learn how to ride a bicycle when you're 50 years old. Good luck on trying to figure out how to ski, okay, when you're 50 years old. Not only maybe are you scared of hurting yourself, you know that your balance, of course, is lacking in many ways. Many ways. Remember, can you spin a ball on your finger? Can you close your eyes and spin that ball on your finger and feel the ball? I show you how I do it in balancing the brain hemispheres. Doesn't mean you're smarter than other people, just means you have different parts of your brain activated and or more parts of your brain activated, which may make you have a better life. That's all I'm saying. And if you want to feel fulfilled, remember, part of the mystery school of life is to be able to maybe connect both hemispheres together. Go outside here for a sec. Connect both hemispheres together. Look at this place, man. And feel fulfilled. Feel fulfilled. Okay? And that's a good feeling, is to have both brains activated. Okay? Both brains activated as one, instead of just having a half a brain activated mind, which of course you don't know any better, is because you haven't jumped into someone's mind that has two brains working together, the positive side and the negative side, one that sees good and one that sees evil. And of course blended perfectly, so good of course doesn't take over evil and evil doesn't take over good. That's the best way the mind's not fighting itself. It's not the 5 parts of the brain fighting itself like the 5 stallions of the mind that have never seen each other, but they are scared of each other's shadow. And when you activate different parts of your brain, you know what happens to you? The shadows of your mind, the nightmares, a lot of the things that of course are just hidden right in front of you, okay? Balancing the brains means activating all parts of the brains. And you do have a mammalian brain, you do have a reptilian brain, okay, yes you do. You do have a bird brain, that's the magnetic part of your brain. You do also have an amphibian brain, and water is very important for you to get in and know that water is everything, because you're mostly water. Water is one of the most important things to be able to keep your mind clean, okay, and not distracted from pollution. Shutting down a lot of your electromagnetics in your house if you're not using them. I don't care if it's the wireless stuff or change out all your LED lights. Remember, we've done a lot of videos on Earth Academy just on the tips of the day. The rethinking realities are good to go ahead and see, but all of the main menus on Earth Academy, where I show a lot of different protocols that I've used, and used every one. And not only myself, but like I said, many thousands of patients. No one's asking anybody to do anything, but remember, life is what you put into it, and that's how it works. And if you don't put a lot of work into this world, okay, and that's including your world, then a lot of times you can't complain why you feel your world is not as good as it should be. Remember, intelligence has a lot to do with, okay, like central intelligence. You know what that is, right, on the outside? How about your central intelligence? And that means that you must have both brains activated to be able to have some form of intelligence, critical thinking, common sense. Okay? And don't forget, if you want to live good, you have to have a cunning mind. It doesn't mean you're cheating, it just means you're cunning. Cunning is a completely different part of the mind activated if, of course, you understand the different parts of the brain. The cunning part of the brain, what part do you think it's from? That's the reptile part of the brain. The loving part of the brain, what part of that is? Okay, the nurturifying, the loving, the creating, the mammalian side of the brain. Anyways, you can see they're doing a job on the sky today. Look at all the white aerosol. I've been here for like 2.5 weeks, and I haven't seen hardly any of that crap being sprayed. But the last couple of days, massive, especially this morning, man. They were going down. Anyways. Idiocracy. If you see the idiocracy, just remember the closing statement here. If you see the idiocracy, maybe you're not as much as the idiots that go along with it, right? Again, you can't fix your car, so you go to someone that can fix your car, right? Just like with your body. And you have to put in 100% trust in the ability that they have to tell you the truth and nothing but the truth. So help their God. I didn't say God, their God. That could be Satan, right? And or it could be Christ, whatever you want to call it. The good energy, right? Or the so-called evil energy. The heaven side of the mind or the hell side of the mind. Anyways, this video, again, is just to be able to let you know. Most of the time you've done this to yourselves or your parents have done this to yourselves. And if you do have lacking neural net connection, then activate them. I still study 3-4 hours a day. Do you read it all to be able to train your mind to be able to focus on the written word? Okay, the written word. Do you use handwriting anymore? Can you spell? Remember the spells. Can you write them in cursive writing? Can you write the curse? Right? Cursive writing. Can you spell, right? And what does that mean? To spell things or to put people under the spell? I can see you, right? See, you, the letter C, and the ocean is also called the sea. I know, but no, I don't want you doing that, right? One is no, and the other one is I know. The twisted language. Again, it's important to go ahead and see the language that we speak is a coded language. And the only way you can see that is in gematria. And that's, of course, another layer of the mind. It's the layer of all secrets to be revealed at this time. See, what I've seen so far is as we speak the language that is coded by the secret societies, coded by the, well, the satanic organizations and or the fallen angel organizations, the 33, the fallen angels, right? Or the Satanists, so-called, the 666, the mark of the beast. Again, if you haven't seen the gematria, it's important for you to be able to see that you speak words of Babel. You speak a language, of course, that came from Latin, and it doesn't make sense when you go back to their true meanings. No, it doesn't. Look at government, just real quick. Government in Latin means gubernar mente. Gubernar means to control. Mente, en especial en español, es el parte de los sesos. Okay, la mente. Okay, mente. This is your mind. Gubernar mente, to control the mind. That's from Latin. That's what it is. Religion, right? You know what that means here. You see that there's a supernatural being, some type of creator or creators, whatever you believe, there's something spiritual, right? But what it really means goes back to Latin, goes back to relegare. It means to hold back, tie down, or thwart. That's what religion means. So we speak the language of Babel, right? You know what Kleenex is? You wipe your nose with it, right? Flip it upside down, you can see the 3 6s in it. But you know that word only because that word was made up, and after several generations, we speak the words and understand what the gibberish means. Okay? Here's a good one I'm going to hang up here. Okay. Oh, say, can you see? What's that from? That's the national anthem, right? What do you think that is? In gematria? Okay. Oh, say, can you see? Satanic cipher. Remember, a cipher is like A is 1, B is 2. Okay, it's taking letters and turning them into some type of numerical value to maybe add up a certain number that may mean something, kawinky-dinky or not. But okay, say, oh, say, can you see? Equals 666. Kawinky-dinky. You can see a lot of the things that the words we use, the numbers that they go to. And what does that mean? That we speak a language that is coded. Okay? We speak the language of the fallen angels, the English language. And you'll see a lot of the sort of, and it's interesting. Remember, it's all kawinky-dinky. There's nothing to believe. All it is just unimaginable kawinky-dinkies. Okay? And there's lots. We'll go into other episodes, but I gave you a little bite just for you to be able to see the genius language of English that is coded deeply. Okay? Coded deeply. And they gave us so far about 36 ciphers. And that's how you change, of course, words like oh, say, can you see, into a cipher. There's Kabbalah ciphers, there's Jewish ordinal ciphers, there's English ordinal ciphers, there's Sumerian ciphers, Chaldean ciphers, and these are ancient systems of secret code. So, anyways, like I said, we'll get into this deeper, but this is part of seeing some of the truth. Of course, just like in the Matrix, that we have all had the wool pulled over our eyes. Can you see the human farm right now? Remember, you're fed every day. Magically, the food ends up in your store, and you don't see what it takes to get that food there, because I know I'm in the business of food. Okay, what it takes to get that thing on the shelf, all the hoops and all the BS, but it's magical, isn't it? Okay, you go click, click, click on an internet, and it shows up at your back door. Where'd that food come? Nobody knows. When you flush your toilet, where does that water go? Nobody knows. The system is so automated that you don't even need to go ahead and light a fire to get hot water anymore, or go down to the river, right, to go ahead and get 5 gallons, right? Everybody's become fat, sick, and lazy, as you can see. And don't forget, everybody's just about limping, as I can see. A lot of stiff skeletal problems. So just, guys, time to clean up. You can activate your brain, but you have to detox your body. And if you detox your body, then miraculous things will happen to you. You'll start to think clear, and you'll be able to make better decisions. Okay? Seeing the idiocracy again is only because maybe you are less of a so-called non-idiot, okay, than those that, of course, are in the consensus of the mind. Okay? Those that believe in a lot of things. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? Remember, you came to this place here and you had no software program, so you have to believe in something. You just have to. If not, this world is too weird. Remember, Morpheus says to Neo, you have a splinter in your mind, and you've always felt that there's always been something wrong. You've always felt this. Okay? But as long as I keep a lot of stuff in your brain, then you will never feel. Okay? Anyways, I got to go. Someone wants me here. All right, guys, we'll see you. Aloha. And we'll see you on the next video.